Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you are feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I want to welcome you to another edition of Good Morning Millionaire, the morning show for entrepreneurs and servant leaders. Every single morning, we're here to help you go further, faster, with less effort, help you increase your impact, help you increase your income. And we do that by giving you all kinds of news you can use, all kinds of tips that you can flip into cash, whether it's mindset, skill set, or heart set. Every Monday, we do mindset. Every Tuesday, we do sales tips. Every Wednesday, we do marketing hacks and tricks. And every Thursday, we talk about leadership. And then every single Friday is free coaching Fridays, sort of like a Q&A where you and I get to engage. I want you to be excited about it because we are here for you, whether you have a click and order business or a brick and mortar business, whether you are running something that's headed to the Inc. 5000 like our own company, or whether you are running something that you intend on just helping your community with. Maybe you don't even want to get that big. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the idea. No matter where you are, you can improve. Right now, it's time for you to rep your city. We want to know where you're checking in from. So let us know. And also tell us what kind of business you have and how it helps people. We want to know about it. We want to know about it. Also, make sure you give stars or make sure you like this thing. Make sure you comment. Shouts out to Maura Lynch. It was Maura Lynch. That's who it was. Just sent the Cash App out to Clear Blue yesterday. I was like, oh, snap. Don't get me started passing the collection plate. I really appreciated that, Maura. That was so sweet of you. She's basically, that's her way of saying that she really gets value from the classes every morning. And I appreciate that. I'll tell you another way is that you can join the Kaizen Academy, y'all. If you've never thought about it, you can join the Kaizen Academy for personal development, where we go a little bit deeper into these different topics. We give you homework. The homework never expires. Even if you're watching one of the classes from the archives, you can still write into us. The email address is always there in the class, and you can ask us anything you want about that particular class, and we are going to get back to you within the first 24 hours. There's always a money-back guarantee on the Kaizen Academy, so don't worry about that. It's completely risk-free. Another thing you can do is you can join a newsletter. That's completely free, just like the morning show. If you go to wearemillionaireminded.com, actually, you can just go to millionaireminded.com. What you're going to see is that there is a box there for you to put in your name, put in your email address, and check it out. Every single Monday at 3:30 p.m., you will get the world's best newsletter for entrepreneurs. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to love it. It is a phenomenal newsletter. Where's all my newsletter people at? Did you check this week's newsletter? Hey, Daryl, appreciate you being here, man. Please share this thing. Yuli, can you share this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Damon, can you throw this on your timeline, bro? Can you share this for me? This is going to be really good for entrepreneurs. What's up, Ashley? Can you share this, please? And then come back and say done after it's shared so I can shout you out. Taisha, can you please share this? Good morning, millionaire. Good morning. Queen Gaston is in the house. Good morning, Queen. Oh, I appreciate that. The faithfulness and the diligence comes from our community. I'm here for y'all because y'all are here for me. This is a reciprocal thing. This is all exchange. What's up, Miss Wood? Good morning, Queen. I'm glad you made it in this morning. Please share this when you can. Alan, the Allen group is in the house. Miss Mandy made it in. Oh, I appreciate that, Fonda. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate that, Fonda. Thank you for sharing this thing this morning. I hope we are able to impact some lives. I hope I can make you look good. So by my clock, hey, appreciate that, Damon. Thank you, King. So by my clock, it's time for us to get busy, y'all. This is Marketing Wednesdays. If you look there at the bottom, you can see what to expect every single day of the week. But since this is Marketing Wednesdays, I kind of wanted to put you in the mind of an old adage that we've all heard before. Maybe a lot of us never paid attention to it. It says that you can't understand somebody until you've walked a mile in their shoes. Haven't we all heard that before? You can't really understand somebody until you've walked a mile in their shoes. It's a good adage. Like us as entrepreneurs, like I always say, I ain't a Democrat, I ain't a Republican, I'm an entrepreneur, right? And we as entrepreneurs would probably be way better off if our elected representatives had to spend a couple weeks every year running a small business. Can I get a witness? If they had to spend a couple weeks every year trying to meet payroll, right? Filling out all these government forms, right? I bet you that would get them more in touch with us as entrepreneurs. The people trying to work their way out of the slums, out of poverty, out of the projects would be way better off if each of our elected officials, if these politicians had to come live with them for a week or two every year. Our farmers, they would get so many of their problems solved if each of those same elected officials had to spend a week every single year working on a farm. Can somebody get what I'm saying to you? A bunch of really well-run companies require their top executives to take customer complaint calls every now and then, right? Open and read mail from your customers, right? Even get into the stores sometimes and deal with customers face to face. Anybody remember the show Undercover Boss, where the CEO would dress up in a complete disguise and then work on the front lines of his company? Listen, y'all, the goal is understanding. I think we got that from one of the wisest men that we know of, King Solomon. You know, one of the adages that he lived by was, with all you're getting, make sure you get what, y'all? Understanding. If you're going to persuade somebody, if you're going to motivate somebody, one of the main things you need is understanding. You really need to understand that person and how easy it is to miss, y'all, right? I remember, speaking of elected officials, there was this guy who really hit the kind of like the marketing radar a couple months ago. I guess it's probably like a year ago now, where he was running for, y'all remember when Dr. Oz was running for office? Anybody remember that? Dr. Oz from the Oprah show? He was running for, I guess, governor of Pennsylvania, I think it was. And he called himself kind of like filming this commercial. And it really showed how out of touch he was, because he goes in the commercial. He's standing in some grocery store, and he's like, I've rolled up my sleeves my whole life. You know, that's what my whole life's about. You know, and as he goes through the commercial, he's like, guys, my wife wants some vegetables for crudité, right? He's picking out broccoli, he's picking out asparagus, he's picking out carrots, guacamole, salsa for this platter, right? He's like, guys, that's $20 for crudité, and that doesn't even include the tequila. I mean, that's outrageous. And we've got Joe Biden to thank for this. People are looking at this like, what the hell is crudité? So not only did Google searches for crudité spike as the video went viral, but his pronunciation of the store he was in, he called it Wegner's, which I guess was a combination of one store in Pennsylvania called Wegmans and another store in Pennsylvania called Redner's, right? It was just out of touch all the way around. It was so out of touch that his opponent, this guy, I think his name was John Fetterman, he'd recently had a stroke. He'd kind of stayed out of the public eye because he'd suffered the stroke. He was able to use that campaign to raise like an extra $500,000 in record time, because they came out with all kinds of bumper stickers like Wegner's, which there's no such store, right? Let them eat crudité, which was just making fun of how out of touch this other guy was. And their message was, listen, John Fetterman actually understands what it's like to go grocery shopping and see prices go up. This guy, Oz, clearly has never been in a grocery store before in his life, right? And so it was able to use this guy's out of touch approach to spike this guy's fundraising. This is the power of marketing. This is the power of being out of touch. This is the danger of being out of touch. And this is the power of making sure that you are keeping your ear to the ground, that you really understand your customers. And why am I sharing all of this with you? Because even though most marketers are never that out of touch with their customers, make a mental note. Write this in the comments. The more in touch you are, the more probable your success. Somebody give it to me. The more in touch you are, the more probable your success. The greater the odds that you're going to win and win big come in, the more you understand your customer. So what I got for you is 10 really smart questions that you need to be asking your customers, or at least asking about your customers, or at least asking about your prospective customers, your avatar, who your target market is, because you can't start marketing until you have a target market. Am I making sense to everybody out there? All right. So here's question number one. Write these down. That's right, Sharice. That's right, Sharice. And that applies whether you're a dental hygienist. That applies whether you are a landscaper. That applies whether you're a network marketer. Hey, Maura, I just now thanked you in front of everybody for your Cash App yesterday. That was so cool. That made me feel so loved. I really appreciate it, Maura. That was so sweet of you. You're so welcome, Taisha. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So here's question number one. Everybody write this down in your notes. These are 10 smart questions you need to ask your customers. Here's the first one I got for you. What keeps them awake at night? What keeps them awake at night? Indigestion, boiling up their esophagus. You hear me? Eyes open, staring at the ceiling. What keeps them awake at night? And you know, maybe your company has multiple products and services. For extra points, you can ask this question about each of the services you offer. What keeps them up at night? What is it that stresses them out? What a question. What a question. If they need blank, what are they thinking about? This starts to give you things to talk about in your content. This starts to give you things to mention in your presentation. What is stressing them out? We know that people move quicker to solve pain than they do to create gain. Pain is a much bigger motivator than gain. You know, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. It's a training for another day, but I'll give you one quick insight. Most of us have a much more intimate relationship with pain than we do progress. Most of us can't relate to moving into some 35,000 square foot estate, but we can remember getting an eviction notice on our door, right? We can resonate with that because we remember our mom not having enough money, to have that 4-course meal. You got what I'm saying to you? We knew nothing about crudité. You know, one of John Fetterman's points was, in Pennsylvania, we call this a veggie tray. So if you want to be in touch with your customers, then maybe you need to ask yourself, what keeps them awake at night? Here's the second one. What are they afraid of? What are your customers afraid of? Are they afraid of the repo man? Are they afraid their children are going to get sick? Are they afraid of this COVID thing popping back up everywhere? What are they afraid of? Here's the second one you got. Everybody with me? Check it out. What are they angry about? That's question number 3. What are they angry about? A second part to question number 3 is, who are they angry at? Check it out, y'all. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? That's number 4. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? Write that down, somebody. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? If you know that about your customer, you're going to be a lot more in touch with them. If you know that about your customer, you're going to find yourselves a lot more in touch. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? You know, if I'm offering a credit repair product, maybe I'm considering the fact that they're going to get denied when they're asked if they want the discount for getting the store credit card. Maybe that's a daily frustration. If I'm offering a credit repair product or a debt resolution product, then maybe I'm thinking to myself about how it must feel to have to use your credit card and not your debit card when you're at the gas tank. And how stressful it must be to know that this bill is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And while I used to like paying off the whole balance, all of a sudden I can just pay the minimum amount right now. That's a daily frustration. All of a sudden, I know the kind of videos I need to create. All of a sudden, I know what kind of content will resonate with my perfect kind of customer. All of a sudden, I know the kinds of bonuses and incentives that I need to add in because I'm thinking about my customers' frustrations. Y'all ready for question 5? You ready for question 5? If you're ready for 5, give me a number 5 and a share. Let's go. I want to make sure I'm not talking too fast, y'all. Good morning, Dee Dee. Glad you made it in. Glad you made it in. Yeah, Damon, you feel me, right, bro? Appreciate that, Larry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's exactly right. What are your top 3 daily frustrations was number 4. That's exactly right. Here's number 5. Here's number 5, y'all. What trends are occurring and will occur in their businesses or their lives? What trends are occurring or will occur in their businesses or their lives? You know, there's this famous quote from Wayne Gretzky. He was like, don't go where the puck is. He would go to where the puck is gonna be, right? You know, the hockey puck. He would say, don't go where the puck is, go where it's gonna be. I don't know how many of y'all remember playing those little hunting games on the video game system. And you know, if you shot at where the duck was, you was gonna miss it. What you had to do is plot out its trajectory, predict where it's gonna be, and shoot at that point, right? Well, it's the same exact thing in business. It's the same exact thing being a champion marketer. I want to invite you to think about what are the trends that are occurring, what will occur. You know, with our own company, what we noticed, just as a quick sidebar, many of you know we have a financial services company. We have a fintech company, right? And I'm not trying to recruit anybody away from their company. I know we have people from all walks of life that get on these calls every morning. But what I noticed is that, check it out, there was this whole wave about credit repair. And then all of a sudden, everybody was doing credit. Then there was this whole trend towards business credit. And then you would look around and everybody was offering business credit. After that, we got on funding and lending. And then we looked around and everybody was doing funding and lending. So where was the trend? When we looked at the economy, we looked at the inflation rates, we looked at the interest rates, we looked at the cost of goods rising up, and then we recognized a lot of people are starting to drown in debt. So you know what we did? We introduced debt resolution. We introduced debt help, where people can come, and as long as they have more than $7,500 worth of debt, we can help them cut that in half. Do you understand how beautiful that has been for our business? Do you understand how amazing this has been for everybody who's running home-based businesses in our world? It has been a game changer, because what we've discovered is people will live okay with bad credit, especially when interest rates are this high. Why? Because they don't want to buy a house anyway at these rates. But people are always a lot more stressed about debt. And so when we looked at the trend that were occurring, when we looked at the trends that will occur, we know that some people ain't even in as much debt now as they'll be 3 months from now, because Christmas is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, debt resolution. What kind of innovations can you think of in your own business by asking yourself this question? Here's number 6. Here's number 6. Everybody ready? What do they secretly and most passionately desire the most? Woo! Now that's a question to ask. That's a question to ask. What do they desire the most? What do they secretly desire the most? What do they most ardently? What do they most passionately desire, even if they keep it secret from people? Wow, what a question. What a question. I mean, can you imagine how much more motivating, how much more compelling you can be if you know what they want? What a question. Am I right? What a question. Here's number 7. Here's number 7. Is there some kind of built-in bias to the way they make decisions, right? Like if I'm selling to engineers, then I know a lot of times they're going to be extremely analytical, right? I mean, what about you? What about your audience? Is there some kind of built-in bias to the way they make decisions? If I'm talking to housewives, I know a lot of times they're going to consult with their husbands. Is there some kind of built-in bias to the way your customer makes decisions? If I'm talking to somebody and I'm offering them business credit, maybe this is the kind of thing they're going to discuss with their business partners. So now maybe I know I need to be there with all the decision makers at the same time. I'm just trying to spark your brain right here, right? The brain works off stimulation. I'm just trying to get you to think about your business a different way. I want you to think about what you're thinking about. Everybody with me? Give me an 8 if you're ready for number 8. Am I going too fast? Am I going too fast? Yeah, Taisha, when you said this, with a bounce pass, I bet you were talking about skating to where the puck is going to be. What trends are occurring in their lives? What will occur sooner or later, right? All right, check it out. Number eight. Do they, thank you. Number 8, do they have their own language? Do they have their own language? This is a question that marketers need to be asking themselves. That's why I used that example earlier about let them eat crudité. Had he been in touch with the Pennsylvania populace, had he ever walked the streets of Philly, it would have clicked with him, bruh, don't nobody know what crudité is. Like, what's wrong with you, right? You got to ask yourself, do they have their own language? Sometimes when I'm writing my newsletter, where someone else might say, awesome, I might say, isn't that a dope approach, right? Because maybe my audience, maybe we would understand that in a different, right? Because I'm talking in the language of my people. You got what I'm saying? Here's what I want you to ask yourself. Do your customers have their own language? Here's number 9. This is a really powerful one. This is the crux of marketing. I'll do a training, maybe next Wednesday. I'll talk about the 3 questions that every marketer needs to understand. I'll probably do a TikTok on it. I'll probably do a reel on it. It's one of the cruxes of my revenue acceleration system. Millionaires, who else is selling something similar to your audience? And how are they selling it? Now, if you take my masterclass, then you'll discover there's a whole ecosystem that you want to look at. But I'll break it down really simple for you. You don't have a market unless you know who's already selling to them. That's what marketing is. It's knowing what barrel you're going fishing in. So the question I want to ask you is, who else is selling something you sell? Have you analyzed them? One trick I give to some of my clients and some of my students, right, is I tell them to go look at the reviews. Like if you go to Amazon and you look up the book of somebody else that sells what you sell, right? I don't care if you're in financial services and you look up, Susie Orman, or you look up Dave Ramsey. Look at the 5-star reviews. That's dope. That's always fun, right? Because you're seeing people that are satisfied customers. They got exactly what it is that they were hoping they would get. But here's what's even more powerful. Look at the 1-star reviews. Look at the 2-star reviews. And you know what they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you exactly what to put in your product. They're going to say things like, man, I love this guy, but here's what I was expecting versus what I got. You're going to be able to say, this is the power of knowing who else is selling something similar. And this is the power of understanding how they're selling it. You got me? Because once I recognize that this guy right here is reaching my same audience, I can say, where does he advertise? What kind of podcast does he do? What kind of events is he on the panel for? What kind of seminars does she put on? You got what I'm saying? Now I'm getting all kinds of ideas sparked in my head about how I can begin to grab up more market share. Am I making sense? And here's question number 10, y'all. Who else has tried selling them something similar, and how has that effort failed? How has that effort failed? I hope this was helpful for you. These are just a couple questions you can answer if you want to dig into the real psyche of your prospects. I guarantee you, the more in touch you get with your customers, the more probable your success. Millionaires, this is the kind of stuff you want to think about before you're creating an offer or before you're creating a marketing campaign. There are a lot of people who have built $1 million and multi-million dollar and even billion-dollar businesses knowing exactly these kinds of questions. One comes to mind is Steve Jobs. Another one that comes to mind, Jeff Bezos. Another one that comes to mind is Elon Musk. I mean, can you understand what kind of thought has to go into it before you create a company like the Boring Company? Y'all know about Elon Musk's Boring Company? Y'all know about that one? Y'all know about that one? The Boring Company is a company that he's using to dig tunnels. They literally bore tunnels underneath the city so that you can get from, like, let's say LA to San Francisco way quicker. Because now you're not in the traffic. You're literally underneath the ground. It's going to have a train of some sort that's going to take you like almost like a bullet train does in Japan. You got what I mean? For you to even think of an idea like that, you had to ask yourself, what's keeping them up at night? You had to ask yourself, What are they frustrated with? What are they angry about? Who are they angry at? And we look at a lot of these problems that are around us and we just say, oh, that's just the way it is. Why does it have to be that way? It's because God is waiting on you to be obedient, to really listen, and then do something about it. Am I making sense to somebody out there? I hope this was helpful. This was another edition of Marketing Wednesdays. This is another edition of Marketing Wednesdays. Every Monday, you're going to get mindset. Every Tuesday, you're going to get sales tips. Every Wednesday, you're going to get marketing. Every Thursday, it's about leadership. And every Friday is Free Coaching Friday, where I am here for you to answer your questions. But now, millionaires, it's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. Let's go. Call in on this number right here. Call in on this number right here, and you can say your affirmations with us if you're down for that. I know it sounds kind of weird to some. Some people are like, what are affirmations? Oh, affirmations are where the words become flesh, baby. All day you're being conditioned to think of yourself as less than. All day you're being conditioned to have issues about self-worth because, ironically, marketers make more money when you think less of yourself. I don't know how many of you have read my book already, but in my book, I kind of break it down how, it's the insecure that become better customers. Think about it. Who does America make more money off? The married couple or the single men and women? I mean, think about how much you spend as a single man on dates. Think about how much you spend as a single woman on all of this extra stuff to look like a viable candidate for marriage. You get me? Why do you think that the society is constantly pushing you to cheat on your mate? Why do you think society is constantly putting you in the frame of mind of somebody who's right? I mean, when a storm comes, what's the first thing we do? We rush the store and buy everything on the shelf because we're scared. Fear makes you a better customer. Insecurity makes you a better customer. Oh, I would be much better if only I bought this. A marketer put that in your mind. So what we do with our affirmations is we recondition, we reprogram ourselves, we build ourselves up so that we recognize that I am enough. I am enough, right? And we use the most powerful, the two shortest yet most powerful words in the whole English language. I am. Come on, let's try it out right now. Here we go. I am so happy and grateful.